Whereas disability is a natural part of the human experience and in no way diminishes the right of individuals with disabilities to live independently, enjoy self-determination, make choices, contribute to society, and experience full in the economic, political, social, cultural, and educational mainstream of American society. And whereas family members, friends, and members of the community can play a central role in enhancing the lives of people with disabilities, especially when the family and community are provided with necessary support services, and public and private employers are aware of the capabilities of people with disabilities to be engaged in competitive work in inclusive settings. And whereas the goals of this city properly include providing individuals with disabilities the opportunities and support to make informed choices and decisions, live in homes and communities where such individuals can exercise their full rights and responsibilities as citizens, pursue meaningful and productive lives, contribute to their family, community, state, and nation, have interdependent friendships and relationships with others, and achieve full inclusion in society. Now, therefore, I, Scott Fatness, Mayor of the City of Fishers, along with the Honorable City Council, do hereby proclaim the month of March as Disability Awareness Month in the City of Fishers and call upon citizens to observe the month with appropriate programs and activities. Furthermore, I encourage the citizens of Fishers to seek counsel and input from any person or group with knowledge and expertise in matters concerning disabilities.
Okay, great. Thanks for sharing that, and really appreciate all the efforts for Disability Awareness Month. Moving into economic development, next on the agenda, item 8, resolution R031626A, a resolution approving project agreement for the Crossing Hotel. Megan.
Hello. For the record, Megan Baumgartner, Director of Community and Economic Development. Tonight, I'm excited to share more information with you on a project that we discussed at State of the City, which is a new luxury Tempo by Hilton or a higher brand hotel that is going to be built right next to our event center. So the site that you can see on the right-hand side of the screen, that was the former Chicken and Pickle lot. Unfortunately, that project didn't move forward. But we were able to secure and issue an RFP earlier this, or late last year for this site, once we got the property back under our control, and we really knew that we wanted to do something dynamic and exciting here. And so Build BW, which is a firm that's headquartered here in Fishers, they responded to the RFP and have Hilton as the flag and the operator of the facility. So it'll be 125 rooms, high-end, it'll be a Tempo or higher that's included in that. 35,000 square feet of retail on that first floor, and so we were really excited about the opportunity to engage with people on that plaza. We have that space that's there. And so with all the activity, all these events that are going on at the event center, adding this additional retail opportunity and activating this space, not just during our event days, but throughout the whole year, was a great opportunity for us. They do anticipate some ballroom and meeting space, which we really don't have a good location for that here in Fishers. So the total investment is approximately $50 million for this project. Again, 125 rooms with this. What we're asking for tonight is the contribution of the land, and a waiver of the impact fees associated with this project. The reason we feel that that is a great incentive for the project is there is a minimum taxpayer agreement that is on this property, which means that in the event that nothing is built there, the city is on the hook for a $320,000 minimum taxpayer agreement as part of our deal with Thompson Thrift for their union project. So what we're really excited about is they're obviously committing to that minimum taxpayer agreement, which then doesn't have any sort of impact on our TIF. We're gaining all of this really great space, a high-end hotel, and so we're excited about the opportunity to partner with them. And again, we have been able to negotiate with them through this RFP process. As you'll see in the resolution, this approval is contingent upon approval by the redevelopment commission of the award of this land. But I'm happy to answer any questions about this project or our process.
Questions from council?
I'll make a motion to approve.
Motion by Pete, second by Selena.
I'll second.
All right, thank you, Bill.
Third.
Megan, we're going to have to roll call everything, I guess. Okay, so we'll do a roll call, please, Jennifer.
John DeLucia.
Aye.
Tiffany Detlefsen. Pete Peterson.
Yes.
John Weingart.
Abstain.
Cecilia Coble. Aye. Brad DeReamer. Selena Stoller. Todd Zimmerman. Bill Stewart.
I just want to say, great job, team. This is a great addition to the Southwest District, and I wholeheartedly support it. I vote aye.
Motion passes.
Thank you.
All right, thank you, Megan. All right, next on the agenda, item 9, ordinance 031626, a request to approve an amendment to section 72.17 of the Fishers Code of Ordinances, residential parking permits. Lindsay.
Good evening, Lindsay Bennett, Corporation Counsel. This is a amendment to the residential parking permit ordinance. We did just bring another amendment for some Scrivener's errors. However, we have started enforcing these in city court and had a interesting loophole argued at city court. So I wanted to make sure we put that language into this ordinance so that nobody could argue that loophole anymore, which was some language that's in our handicap parking ordinance that basically says that it's not a defense for a driver of a vehicle it's not a defense for the vehicle to be unattended at the time of the violation. So we had somebody go in and say, well, I wasn't even in the car at the time, and it's not my car. And so the judge, seeing that that language was not present in this ordinance, but was in the handicapped ordinance, said, okay, you know what, you're right. So essentially everybody used that argument from there on out. So we went back through and we made those changes and put in a little additional language for any kind of potential loophole for this one. So just asking for approval for that tonight. If we could get first, second, and third reading, that'd be great, but if not, that's fine.
Questions from,
Motion to suspend the rules.
a motion to suspend the rules by Pete, second by Todd. All those in favor? Oh, again.
John DeLucia.
Aye.
Tiffany Detlefsen. Pete Peterson.
Yes.
John Weingart.
Aye.
Cecilia Coble. Brad DeReamer. Cecilia Stoller, or Selena Stoller. Todd Zimmerman. Bill Stewart.
Aye.
Motion passes.
Motion to approve.
All right, motion to approve by John, second by Tiffany. All those in favor? Oh, I guess roll call, right?
Sorry.
That's okay, Bill.
John DeLucia.
Aye.
Tiffany Detlefsen. Pete Peterson.
Yes.
John Weingart.
Aye.
Cecilia Coble. Brad DeReamer. Selena Stoller. Todd Zimmerman. Bill Stewart.
Aye. Motion
passes.
Thank you.
Okay, thanks. Next on the agenda, item number 10, ordinance 031626A, a request to approve an amendment to Chapter 96 of the Fishers Code of Ordinances for Parks and Recreational Field Use.
Yeah, hi, Jordan Alexander, Chief of Staff. So this proposed amendment is an amendment to the field use ordinance, specifically the language around the governance of our city athletic fields. So I mentioned in our joint city school board meeting last week, this amendment is really a part of a broader initiative to bring some efficiencies to our field utilization and overall maintenance. There's really one main change to note in this ordinance, and that is that now, through the amendment, the city will have exclusive discretion and authority to schedule and assign its athletic facilities to user groups. So I mentioned last week that in the previous ordinance, we had authority second to Mudsock Athletics, so we'll just be shifting that primary governance back over to the city. I will note that Mudsock Youth Athletics and its member leagues will still receive fields free of charge through this ordinance, assuming that they maintain a roster with 100% HSE students, as the ordinance currently sits today as well. For any athletic entities that do not have that 100% residency participation, they will be eligible to become a partner organization. So in the previous ordinance, those were called affiliates. They're now called partner organizations. But those organizations will be required to maintain rosters with 60% or more Fishers residents to qualify as a partner organization. And the city will be able to enter into field use agreements with these entities for reoccurring field use at a specified cost. And then any other user group that doesn't fall into these two categories will essentially be subject to a fee schedule, which, as indicated in this ordinance, we will approve that field use fee schedule on an annual basis. So again, the intent behind this is really to bring some efficiency to utilization. I'll also note, just as it pertains to Mudsock, it's our intent to ensure that every Mudsock league has a home base for consistent practice, games, and like I mentioned, that those facilities would be free of charge, assuming they stay in line with that residency requirement. And then also just wanted to note that many of those facilities will be upgraded as a result of these investments that we're making this year, many of which were highlighted last week at the school board meeting. So with that, I think this is first reading tonight, so I'll entertain if anyone has questions. Perfect. Thanks.
Good evening. For the record, Ross Hillary, Community and Economic Development. Before you is Ordinance 022326C, which, as mentioned, is the Thoroughfare Plan update. This is requested for final reading tonight. Annually, we bring forward the Thoroughfare Plan from our engineering department to you guys. This is housed within the Fishers 2040 Comprehensive Plan. Key updates that are included on this map include the improvements at 116th and Klotz Farm Boulevard, improvements to Brooks School Road corridor, and various local roads and subdivisions that have been added over the past year. This item did receive a favorable Plan Commission recommendation, and staff at that meeting also provided updates on the Allisonville and 116th Street intersection, which will begin at the end of the month. Happy to answer any questions.
John DeLucia? Tiffany Deplison? Pete Peterson?
Yes.
John Weingart? Cecilia Coble? Brad DeReamer? Selena Stoller? Todd Zimmerman? Bill Stewart?
Aye.
Motion passes.
Next up, number 12, ordinance number 031626B, consideration of text amendment to Chapter 12, 2, and 11 of the Unified Development Ordinance. First reading, Ross.
Yes, Ross Hillary, Community and Economic Development. Before you, there are two separate UDO updates tonight. I'll talk about this separately, but wanted to make sure you guys were aware. Ordinance 031626B is consideration of text amendment to Chapter 2, 11, and 12. The intent around this is for us to have some guidelines around non-conforming uses in our community. So Chapter 2 added a section providing what a non-conformity accessory use was. Chapter 11 provides guidelines when and if a notice of violation is provided, what board they could go before. And then Chapter 12 added definitions on what a legal non-conforming accessory site feature was and a non-conforming accessory site feature. What is missing in here is a timeline on bringing those non-compliances into compliance, and we will have that before you at our next meeting. Happy to answer any questions on it.
Any questions? All right, first reading. Okay. 13. Ordinance 031626C, consideration of text amendment to chapters 5, 6, and 12 of the Unified Development Ordinance, first reading. Ross?
Yes, Ross Hillary, Community and Economic Development. Before you is ordinance 031626C, which again is a UDO update. I'll go through these for consistency and clarity. So updates to chapter 3 include the definitions of a PUDC, PUDM, and PUDR, the removal of minimum project size and parent track, updates to our use table in chapter 5, including adding a columbarium to the permitted use table, correcting outdoor entertainment and recreation titles, and updating zoning districts for both cemeteries and funeral homes, as well as adding columbarium to the civic uses. Personal services, we updated those as well as self-service storage limits on square footage, and then updates to temporary uses, including sunsets of inactive construction trailers, and providing residents with additional flexibility for temporary trash receptacles for home improvements. Chapter 6, this is where the majority of our design standards are. So you can see there in chapter 66352, several updates to our architecture design standards. Those are all based off of things we've seen over the past couple years in our PD committee. Lighting standard updates, including reducing light levels of commercial properties adjacent to residential properties, and seasonal lighting and religious symbols. Updates to our recreation vehicle standards for code enforcement, including incidental recyclable material storage, and 2 updates to our signage standards. In chapter 12, we are updating the definitions of architectural features and extended stay hotels, and then adding that list of additional definitions for clarity. Happy to answer any questions on these updates.
Any questions, first reading?
First reading.
First reading. Thank you, Ross. Number 14, consideration of a special exception to allow for a private school use on a property zone PUDR, the Legends at Geist, PUD. So this is a first reading and a public hearing.
Yes, resolution R031626B is a consideration of a special exception to allow for private school on property zone PUDR, Legends at Geist. The address is 10601 Cumberland Road. Summary of this project is for a new private school at the existing structure that's there. The existing zoning is Legends of Geist, as mentioned, and this was called out for community services, previously used as the neighborhood pool. The school is working with staff on an approved parking agreement for Fire Station 94, which is located just north of this property. Our anticipated timeline is first reading tonight with a public hearing, and then a proposed final reading at our April 20th meeting. They are anticipating improvements to the building as well as an expansion. I will let the petitioner speak on both of those. And this is the existing conditions of that building. So there's the building and then the existing pool, which should be removed. So with that, Jessica Dickinson with MJC is their legal counsel, and she's going to make a short presentation.
Good evening. I'm Jessica Dickinson with MJC. I'm here tonight on behalf of Central Christian Academy in their petition for special exemption to operate a private elementary school. Central Christian Academy is a state-accredited private school, and it's been in operation for over 50 years here in the state of Indiana. They're requesting a special exemption so they can expand their operations to have a campus here in Fishers. The proposed school is compatible with Fishers UDO in that it will offer low-impact daytime operations. For school enrollment, it is going to be intentionally kept modest in the first year, and there will just be kindergarten and first grade with anticipated enrollment of no more than 36 students. The school will add 1 grade level per year after that, with a maximum anticipated capacity of 170 students. The school site has been evaluated for architectural feasibility and long-term campus planning. There are currently no plans to change the existing landscaping, exterior paint color, fencing, or parking lot layout. It is, however, anticipated that additional fencing may be added as needed for student safety. There's an existing structure on the property, and it will be expanded over 3 phases, which we'll see here in the next slides. This is the existing building on the property. This will be the main school building here initially. This will house phase 1 and phase 2 of the project. Here you see the 2 first phases. Phase 1 will just utilize that existing building, remove some interior walls. There's a kitchen. It's more of an event space right now. It'll be renovated so that there can be classrooms inside there. And then phase 2 will fill in, there's some existing patio spaces next to the building. Phase 2 will just enclose those patios to add additional classroom spaces. Phase 1 is anticipated to happen this year. Phase 2 will be next year. This is an aerial view of the existing building that we were just talking about, and then the pool that is there. That pool will be filled in this year with regular fill dirt. And then on top of that pool area would be phase 3, which you see here in this image, which will give additional classroom space in the future. Okay, in terms of parking and traffic, the school will operate all of its internal student pickup and drop off within the parking lot, and CCA complies with all required regulations for student safety. Additionally, and it was mentioned briefly, we'd like you to know that CCA has coordinated with the City of Fishers. There's a fire station just to the north of the property. They currently use some of the parking spaces in that parking lot. We have coordinated with the city to ensure that they still will have access to those parking spots for their staff, their firefighters. And then also CCA intends to grant some of the land there surrounding the fire station so that the firefighters can continue to use that land for outdoor recreation, grilling, et cetera, as they see fit. Thank you for consideration. I am joined today by the school's director as well, Ed Ingalls. We're here to answer any additional questions you may have.
Well, John had, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, first of all, thank you for helping us assist with the parking spaces for the firefighters. That's something that's kind of really not been dealt with, so appreciate that. Certainly appreciate you talking about the size of the building, kind of the plan, kind of fill in the pool. That was going to be one of my questions. That's in my district,
Okay.
right by where I live. So one of the things we need to really think about is traffic through that area. 106 in Cumberland is a very busy intersection. This is going to be a different use than what it was before. Originally, it was a place to go swimming, a clubhouse. Now it's going to be something that's going to be utilized during peak traffic hours. So we need to kind of think through that and see if that's going to work. Don't know if it does, don't know if it doesn't. Something we need to find out from our traffic experts. Is this school a year-round school, or is it seasonal?
It'll be a traditional school during the usual school year in the fall through spring, but then there might be some summer programming, just like a daytime camp.
Typically, it looks like you're expanding, going from kindergarten up to 6th grade at this point, but potentially.
Yeah, and that's the maximum.
Any plans for daycare, nursery school, or anything like that?
Just similar to how our public elementary schools would offer like a YMCA.
After school care, stuff like that, sure. Discussion, have you had any interaction with the neighbors yet? I'm assuming you're going to be doing that as well?
We have begun conversations with the HOA, but.
Okay. Certainly want to be thoughtful of this, but my biggest issue is going to be traffic. Is that going to work? Making sure, since you're addressing the pool, which is going to be a big issue for me, making sure everything was filled in. We'll see how it goes. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
And I
Yeah,
echo
please.
John's question about the traffic. A couple months ago, we approved a new housing addition off of Cumberland. And so just concerns about folks driving there, and I do live in that neighborhood, so anxious to see that. And then also, Ross, maybe this is more for you. Will we expand the school zone? If we have a private school that comes in, will it become like a school zone with like lowered miles per hour for folks driving by?
Yes, our traffic engineer would have to bring all that into compliance, so yeah, the road speeds would be affected by that.
Perfect. And then, your students, will they be coming in on bus, or will they all be like brought in by their parents?
Yes, car riders, yes.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, thanks. I'm going to open up Resolution R031626B for a public hearing. If you wish to speak, you may come to the podium and address the council. Please state your name and address for the record, and you will be given 3 minutes. All right, seeing no comments, I'll close the public hearing.
And I'll give it a first reading.
Yep, thanks, Pete. Thank you, Ross. All right, next on the agenda, item 15, ordinance number 031626D, rezone request, 6.17 acres C3 to I1 with conditions for an existing building at the address 9810 Kearney Drive.
Yes, for the record, Ross Hillary, Community and Economic Development. There are two items next on the agenda. I'll speak about those together, but they are two separate items.
Okay.
Ordinance 031626D, which is that request for a rezone, and then Resolution 031626C, which is a change of use permit before City Council. A request on that and a clarification for Council. It is for the existing building, also known as the Kittle Building. It is a 62,105 square foot building. That was incorrect in the staff report. And it is for a change of use to that building, as well as a rezone from C3 to I1 with conditions, with the intent that building is to be revitalized, with 40% of the building to be used as warehouse, 20% of it is to be used as gallery space, 20% of it is fabrication, which is what is requiring that change to industrial zoning district, and then 20% of that is office. I'll show a site plan, but they are looking at adding additional truck docks that will be screened, site improvements that we have seen in the past and other change of uses, including landscaping, parking, bringing our lighting all into compliance as well, and then general facade improvements from the existing building. And as mentioned, that condition, the rezone is a request from staff to allow no outdoor storage. Included in the packet, this is a concept plan showing the additional truck bays on the southwest of the corner of the building, as well as bringing that parking lot into compliance with our landscaping standards. And shown here is a rendering provided by the petitioner to show essentially what some of those site improvements and elevation improvements would be. Signage would be handled separately through our sign permit process. I would like to bring Rick Lawrence of Nelson and Frankenberger, their legal counsel, up here to discuss the item. They are here along with the proposed owner.
Good evening. For the record, my name is Rick Lawrence. I'm an attorney with Nelson and Frankenberger with offices in Carmel. Thank you for your time this evening. I represent ICC Floors. It's about a 30-year-old company that has continued to grow in this Fisher's Market. They do service all central Indiana. With me tonight is Cam Hoy and Nate Roberts with ICC Floors. As Ross had indicated, this property is what everyone refers to as the Kittles Building. They're off of I-69 north of 96th Street, shown on the map here. It's approximately 6.17 acres, and the building is approximately 62,000 square feet. Here are some elevations, black and white, obviously, of the different sides. What we want to point out this evening are additional bays that are going to be constructed on the south side, which is the third elevation down. And then what wasn't probably entirely clear, but we want to identify that, is a customer loading bay on the east elevation, which is the second one down, which is on the far right side of the building there. It's kind of marked out by those yellow pillars. It's not a full semi-loading bay, but it'll be for customers and for ICC Floors to allow slabs to come in on that side of the building too for their gallery. As Ross indicated, this is a rezone from C3 to I1 due to the change in use, and also a resolution for a change in use to operate a showroom/office, which is going to be about 20,000 square feet of the building, a fabrication shop, which is about 20,000 square feet, and then about 22,000 square feet for the warehouse. This is the site landscape plan, bringing it into compliance with the landscape. This isn't quite updated for information we got today from the engineer and architect, which we will update as this process goes through to identify the use of that new addition on the corner there for the customer pickup. This is their existing site on the other side of I-69. I show that because the paint scheme is to be identical to that and to work off of that so that they're coordinated between the two sites. They're keeping the old site also. And as Ross had shown, this is the front of the building. Finally, this is the enthralling photometric plan, which shows that we're going to abide by the standards required for that. So we can answer any questions tonight. We're going to clarify some stuff before we go to Plan Commission, and then we'll be back in April 20th, I believe, for the final vote for you guys. So thank you for your time tonight. The existing loading dock is on the south side, which is down on the bottom, basically. That's better. Where the green trucks are shown there on the bottom, those are the existing loading docks, and then 2 additional loading docks. We are still in discussions on how big the new loading docks are going to be, which are on the south side of the building, east corner. And then the new customer one is at the top of the building in this, where the orange.
They were gonna put in like some greenery, because it'll all be.
Yes, it's all going to be, especially on the south side here, it'll all be fenced and with shrubbery.
Okay.
Yeah, and Rick, I think the big thing that I worry about this building in that particular area is the view that you're getting from I-69. I mean, it is our gateway coming in. 96th Street is our southern border. So as we come in, that thing has to be screened big time.
Understood.
Okay, and landscaped and maintained. We've even taken over maintenance from NDOT on the exit on 116th because we didn't like the way they were maintaining it. So we really take a look hard at the gateways to our communities because we think it really sets a tone on what's coming in there. So work with you guys really hard because, I'm going to be tough in Planning Commission as we get going on the screening, as we see those trucks, because that's not the first thing I want to see when I'm coming to the community.
Understood.
Other than that, I know the group very well, and I think I've actually bought product from them, so they're all great.
I have too.
Again, from the community standpoint, I just don't want to see a whole bunch of trucks lining up back to back to back. If you look where their place is now, it all faces out towards 100 or 69, right? So they're not doing that here, because that's about the only place you're going to be able to put a truck bay that I can figure out. I guess you can do it on the other side, but then you get the view coming in. Either way, you're going to have to do some screening. So I'm really having to work pretty hard on that, because that's going to be my question.
Understood. And I do like the mow line itself, 116.
Yeah, I think everybody is. We go, well, gosh, NDOT's doing a great job, NDOT's not too. So,
Any other,
Yeah, I agree. I agree with Pete, but I think this is a good use as well for this location, and especially just to kind of redevelop that area. Excited really about the parking lot too, just get the lighting and some plantings there and everything. It looks good, but I agree with Pete. We just need to make sure we're buffering that area.
Same sentiments here as my fellow council members, too. Thanks.
Well, your road will be better than it is in front of your building right now, too. Because you got a lot of, I've been to your place and bought material, bought stuff, and I have to watch where I drive down there.
Yeah, I just want to say that I do look forward into diving into this a little bit on Planning Commission, particularly that elevation, coming in, knowing that that's a gateway to our city, and really want it to look nice.
Okay, we'll try to get a different perspective that will show what we can do too.
I'll give it first reading.
all right, first reading. So on the rezone and the change of use, you covered both, right, Ross?
Did you cover both?
I did.
Yeah.
Then I'm going to make the first reading on item 16 as well.
Yeah, might as well.
Good.
Okay.
I had a question for Ross.
Sorry, Bill. Yeah, go ahead.
Yes, sir.
Is the city of Fishers participating in this project financially?
No, sir.
Thank you.
Finished
I do have a quick
Business?
question. I have a quick question. I guess it's for Chief Gephardt. When will we be seeing any type of ordinance around the e-bikes and motorbikes on our pedestrian walkways? I've been getting calls from folks, and the weather's changing, so the kids are out there.
It's in progress, with working with Lindsay to finalize. We did a conversation with the judge on Sunday that we're in there about things they wanted to see in that ordinance specific, so it's forthcoming.
Great, thank you.
Yeah, Brad?
Have the banks accepted EFT yet?
We are, she, May is our
May.
live, and so that will be the event residential.
Because that's the biggest question I get in Britain.
But yeah.
May.
But there also can sign up for our free ACA poll too.
Okay.
Just plug in there.
Okay, we'll go to community comment, open it up. Any member of the public wishing to speak may come up to the podium and address the council. Please state your name, address for the record, and you'll be given 3 minutes.
Hi, I'm Ross Reinhardt, 7704 Creekside Court. Well, I just wanted to come up, it's an exciting month. The bridge over 96th Street on the Nickel Plate Trail opened, and it's already just, it's beautiful. It's such a boost for safety. It took a crossing that was nearly impossible safety-wise and made it possible for just about anybody to cross. And the excitement is palpable on the trail. You can hear people, conversations of people running and walking and riding around you, talking about, how excited they are about where they can get with it now. And Central Indiana Cycling, which is an organization I'm actually a member of, is even doing a celebration ride to celebrate this new infrastructure that's opened up. So if you want to mark on your calendars, April 26th, if you wanted to come join us, it's open to everybody, just a chill ride down and then back up here to patronize businesses up here in the Nickel Plate. You could, more information on that is on their website, Central Indiana Cycling, centralincycling.org. But yeah, it should be a fun time, and just super excited and thankful for the city's efforts into that and the safety it brings. Separately, I also wanted to, as a homeowner, say that I'm really excited. I've been following 1001 and the provisions in it. And as a homeowner in Fishers, I'm really excited about some of the provisions in there. And here's why. I'm really excited because we, as a community, we can't be stagnant. We have to keep changing and evolving in order to keep up and not fall behind. And so much of what I like about Fishers comes from being able to welcome more neighbors. It helps our schools be able to, continue to have a flow of students. It helps be able to have another cool coffee shop supported because there's enough neighbors to support it, a new grocery store. And so I'm particularly excited about being able to continue to grow as a community. We're running out of places to build, and land's expensive and materials are expensive. So specifically, I'm excited about the provision that allows different forms of housing on residential, because it allows us to then economize on what we have. So, a lot that maybe was a single family, before, could now have a duplex on it. So we get more use out of that land and the same materials. And like I said, we all get to experience those benefits of being able to have more money for services and pave the roads and build cool trails and bridges, and all the things that I love and we all love about Fishers, if we can keep growing and evolving as a community. So just wanted to say that, and thank you.
Any other public comment?
My name is Justin Bertner, and I'm a Fishers resident, been here for 13 years now. Always lived in Hamilton County, moved around a little bit, and settled here in Fishers. Wanted to give you some brief comments on the proposed ordinance change regarding the Parks Department, or the utilization of the parks, specific to Mudsock Youth Athletics. So a little background, part of my 13 years here, I've been involved with Mudsock Youth Soccer in various capacities, from a coach when my son, who is now 22, was in 4th grade, continued through to today, where I have been president of Mudsock Youth Soccer for 2.5 years. You know, I understand the comments regarding the changes to the ordinance were around giving the city control of fields. In my experience with the Parks Department and utilization of fields, Mudsock Youth Soccer has never had ownership of fields to determine who plays where when. It's been a partnership with the city giving us access to fields, not Mudsock Youth Soccer, Mudsock Youth Athletics determining who gets the fields when they get them. It's been a partnership all along. I know of in a couple cases the city has said from a soccer perspective you can't have the fields for a certain date because somebody else wants those fields as well. So the comment about it just being getting ownership back of field space and organization, I don't think is fair. On that same comment, I just want to share, I think if you look at the changes in the ordinance, the two biggest things are, number one, Mudsock Youth Athletics no longer has priority. Mudsock Youth Athletics, as shared, has 100% participation of Fishers residents. These are kids in our community that want access to our parks. We've pulled their priority to parks out of this ordinance. As a taxpayer, as somebody who's spent thousands and thousands of hours over 13 years getting participation in sports at a low cost, I don't think it's fair to our community. Second issue, we've lowered the percentage of Fishers residents in these affiliate programs or partner programs from 75% to 60%. My question is why? What are we missing that we are lowering that standard now? I think as a taxpayer, as an organization, we should be focused on kids in our community. That's why we have these parks. I appreciate the city and the council of investing in the facilities that we have. I think it's really important to maintain those facilities, but I do still think it's important that we focus first on our kids in this community, and then let's see what's left for extra outside organizations to come into our parks, but make our kids the priority first. So as we continue the readings and the discussion on this ordinance, I want you to remember our kids and those volunteers who have put time and time and time in over years
Thank you. Yeah,
to build
thanks.
up kids in our community.
Thank you for your comments very much. Any other public comments? Seeing none, is there a motion to?
Motion to adjourn.
Motion by Pete, second by John. We are adjourned.